Just hours ago, the Independents from Point Loma Sport Fishing returned from a 16-day trip and offloaded a magnificent catch. There's David Choate showing off some of these beautiful yellowfin tuna. And now our very own Jolene Thompson has the biggest fish on the trip.
Sizes from left to right.
191, 188, 206.
All right, nice.
That was the voice of my dear friend, Captain Brian Pfeiffer from the Independents. They had steady fishing on 80 to 160-pound yellowfin tuna throughout the trip. They also had a good shot of wahoo and even caught a nice marlin on this great trip. Just another magnificent trip on board the Independents out of Point Loma Sport Fishing.
Before we get started on today's morning briefing, don't forget, if you're headed to Ensenada, you're going to want to give Zeke Casas a call. Only 15 minutes from downtown, but just check out that spectacular view while in Ensenada, Baja, California Norte. And if that garage door is giving you a problem, then you're going to want to call your garage door man. That's Joe Welker. Tax problems? Nobody better than our friend Tim Marquez. Tim's been doing taxes for 35 years. Give the tax man a call today. And for your heating and or air conditioning needs, you're going to want to talk to our dear friend John Lopez at Efficient Heating and Air Conditioning.
Good morning, my dear friends, and welcome to windy Santa Ana winds are really whipping up here this morning. Windy Southern California. This is Surfside, California, and we've got a lot to go over with you on the morning briefing. A weather change in the offing, rain, and even some snow in the local mountains. Our hearts, souls, and prayers go out to the firefighters fighting the Hughes fire that's surrounded Lake Castaic right now. Of course, we're going to cover what's going on south of the border, including some great yellowtail fishing. Big yellows show up in Ensenada, Baja, California. Dan and San Quintin, they're still biting. And even further down the Baja Peninsula, long range has been absolutely marvelous. More halibut and so much more, including, we dropped a video last night. I spent some time with my dear friend Captain Daniel Hadaway and the Island Spirit in the boatyard in Newport Beach. If you didn't see it, I'm going to tag it on the end. You know what time it is. It's time for the morning briefing. Good morning, my friends. Officially day 7 of feeling like crapola, and it's a great and beautiful morning. Actually feel a little bit better today, so hopefully I'm headed in the right direction. Now, it is absolutely gorgeous. If you can see that mist blowing off the waves as they come in, it's an indication of Santa Ana winds. You can see that back there, and it's beautiful. It's like, feels like it's 80 degrees down there. I know it's not that warm, but it's sunny and it's warm and it's beautiful. Unfortunately, this is the kind of winds that whip up and really create problems for our firefighters. So again, we remember them right now. Blowing about 15 knots here right now and gusting to 20 perhaps, so it's quite windy. As I mentioned, let's get the weather out of the way. This weekend, we could possibly see some rain, maybe even an inch or two in Southern California. So we've got some rain on the way as it's really gusting up there to 20 knots right now here on the beach. That is a welcome kind of weather scenario for the firefighters, that is for sure. It may, however, postpone our surf fishing day here on Sunday. I'm going to wait till we get a little bit closer and make a call on that. But for right now, we're on for Sunday down here, 6:30 in the morning till 9:30. We'll see. If it's going to be miserable, then we're not going to want to put you through that. Let's start out in beautiful Mexico right now and take you down to Cabo San Lucas, where Caliente Sport Fishing has been catching big yellowtail. In fact, they had 4 yellows yesterday to 43 pounds. Big, beautiful fish. We're seeing a few striped marlin down there, some yellowfin tuna. If you go offshore in Cabo San Lucas, pretty darn good fishing for the winter time down there right now. And also, as we move you out the peninsula, La Paz, around Cerralvo Island, there's been quite a few yellowtail taken in that area. We see them in Mulaje and Loreto, So good yellowtail action down there in San Quintin, which is only 140 miles below the border. We are seeing some really excellent fishing on yellowtail. May not be every single day. Man, that water's chilly. It may not be every single day, but it's been pretty darn consistent. Yo iron fish have been biting. It's been really exciting fishing and plenty of rockfish. And in beautiful Ensenada, Baja, California, which is 70 miles below the border. Great drive, wonderful people, a great place to visit, and the big yellows right there inside the bay, under the birds, throwing the iron on those fish. Big forkies, 20-plus pound, great yellows. Those joreles really turned on yesterday. Nice bite on the yellows. And of course, down in Ensenada, we continue to catch really great rockfish. So that has been a thing. And now you add to it, we just said just the other day, would not be out of the question to see some yellows show up in Ensenada. And boom, here they show up. So good stuff. If you're heading down to Ensenada, you can take it to the bank. You're going to have some good bottom fishing, rockfish, lingcod, vermilions, all that has been good. But now you can add to it some excellent fishing for yellowtail. We'll see if it's a flash in the pan or that is going to continue. Punta Colonet, the tribute's going to be headed down there this weekend, and they run out of San Diego, and that's 120 miles below the border. Been good rock fishing, but man, they're surrounded by yellowtail now. I mean, they've got them down there in San Quintin, 20 miles below them, and then about 50 miles above them in Ensenada, there's yellows. You can't tell me there's not going to be a yellow bite here at Colonet on one of these trips here very, very soon. So we'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very closely. Let's get you up and talk bluefin tuna, because that's a thing right now here in the wintertime. It actually is a thing. And those yellowtail, or pardon me, those bluefin tuna have been seen in several different areas. First of all, down at 300 miles. I know that's a long ways, but the Royal Polaris ran into that fish. That fish has been hanging out there for a while now, and I got to tell you, it's still there. It's mixed up with some yellowfin tuna in the 20 to 50 pound class, and those bluefin down there have been, you know, anywhere from 40 to over 100, 150 pounds. Really nice grade of fish, so that is really good to see that. Now, we've also got fish at 70 miles that the planes have seen. Nobody's caught anything. So there's your admonition right there. You know, we've seen it. Sometimes it bites, sometimes it doesn't. Max Nui on the Pacific Voyager is headed out to check it tomorrow night, and we can't wait for that. We'll be in constant communication with Max, breaking news to you. If he gets bit, he's going to be fishing that nighttime bluefin. That Royal Polaris fish at 300 miles bit in the daytime. We'll see if Max can't get a bite, and there's a couple other guys going also. I think the Constitution's going. See if they can't get a daytime bite also. And I say that because most of the time in the winter time, when you're fishing SoCal bluefin tuna, it is a night bite. But we'll see. Maybe that will actually turn into something in the daytime. It's a really exciting time here, January, and we're going to be looking at some fish. So we'll keep our eyes on that for you very, very closely. As we take a look around in Southern California, we're going to get a yellow bite up here very soon also. I can feel it coming on. We have to talk Catalina Island, where the El Patron will be fishing tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. There's been really great weather and really nice fishing for perch, and you know, a lot of blue perch, a lot of whitefish. Most of the time you can get a limit on the whitefish, so you're going home with some great table fare. Also, in that neck of the woods, the possibility of a calico bass, a halibut, a white sea bass, all looms large. There's been a lot of squid in the environment, as you well know, and that spells those other predators moving in. And Daniel Hadaway at the end of today's report, remember, stay tuned at the end. If you didn't see it live yesterday, you're going to want to listen, because he takes up that very subject, the squid and what it could produce here in the local environment. So we'll watch that very closely. Don't forget, the El Patron is going to Catalina Island, and they have no fuel surcharge, special low prices, limited load out of Long Beach Sport Fishing, www.longbeachsportfishing.org. Get on the El Patron. The Pride had a 3/4-day trip yesterday, and they had one white sea bass, a few perch, and a couple of bass, whitefish. Pretty slow overall, but that one local white sea bass. We like seeing that. On the Native Sun out of 22nd Street Landing, they have got that same halibut slash bass derby going on. They're out again today. They had a short window where the fish bit yesterday, and they put on 8 nice fish. They lost a few nice fish. I think they released 7 smaller fish, less than 22 inches. Halibut have to be 22 inches in length. To keep here in Southern California, you can keep 5 halibut here in SoCal. So they had 8 fish, and they were nice ones, really beautiful fish. It seems like right now the fish are not like really on the bite, and when that occurs, you want to go to lighter line. Let's define that as 20 pound, okay? Maybe 25 pound. I would fish 20 pound, and you want to bring sinkers from 4-ounce torpedoes to 12-ounce torpedo sinkers. You're going to trap those baits, so you're going to fish a J hook, like a number 1 J hook and a number 6 treble hook. If you don't know how to trap rig it up, the boys on the Native Sun will take really good care of you. So again, nice fishing on some bigger halibut yesterday on board the Native Sun. What, I ask you, is wrong with that? We also are watching the situation up there in Marina Del Rey. They had 6 halibut yesterday, a few bass, 180 sculpin. Again, the guys that are fishing locally here right now have been catching, good amounts of sculpin, some whitefish, occasional bass. Twilight fishing out of Marina Del Rey has been pretty good at times, so we'll keep watching that for you. Also, in the Southern California surf, let me turn around and look at this with you all. Yeah, you could fish this today. It's a little screwy, but you could definitely pull a few fish out of here. We'll see what this weather does in the coming days. As I say, hopefully it's going to mellow out a little bit, but the barred perch bite has been inconsistent, but pretty darn good at times. We've seen really good barred perch fishing. Let's see, Michael Sotelo with some nice barred perch yesterday. Nice big one there. So that is great to see. Barred perch like the cooler water. That's what we have right now. Cooler water equals the barred perch. Bait, probably the best way to do it. The camel worms by Berkeley, been working good for Wayne Shimabukuro and his gang of anglers. So once again, we'll continue to watch that for you. Every once in a while, you'll catch a lost corbina. Most of the time, a smaller one. Might catch a yellowfin croaker, but predominantly it's going to be barred perch. And don't forget, Big Fish Bait and Tackle on the corner of Seal Beach Boulevard and Pacific Coast Highway. They're giving away a free custom surf fishing rod every single month. Wayne and you guys, you should be in that thing. All you got to do is walk in there and buy the ruler, and then you'll measure your prize catch right here in the sand and upload those photos to the Big Fish Instagram page. Biggest fish wins the derby. And it's a different species every month. Go to Big Fish, they'll explain all the rules to you. And man, that's all you have to do is buy the ruler and you're in for the rest of the year, every single month. I don't know how the heck you can beat that. Pretty darn windy down here, long range. Man, I'll tell you, the long range situation has been fantastic as the Independence is at the bait receiver loading up and headed south now. And our friend Soda Pop is on back-to-back 16-day trips. He just got in and now he's leaving on another trip. That is remarkable. Yesterday, in fact, at the very beginning of today's report, you saw some of the Independence fish, those 3 nice big ones, beautiful, great yellowfin tuna, down on Hurricane Bank, about a 1,000-mile run to get to the zone. The Royal Polaris is rolling up on that area right now, so we'll have a report tomorrow for sure on how the RP is doing. 16-day trips, really great fishing on 80 to 160 pound yellowfin tuna with some 200+ pounders kicked in there for spice, and also some pretty good wahoo fishing at time, but a long run to get down to that zone. Oh, look at the little birdie coming over to check out the morning briefing. No, he got scared. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Dirty little rat, camera shy. All right, hey, again, beautiful conditions here. Someday you're gonna see a gray whale swimming by here as we're in the midst of our gray whale season, a beautiful time of the year. All right, a lot going on. Weather changes, Santa Ana's today, and then perhaps rain and snow down to maybe 3,000 feet here in SoCal here this weekend. And it looks like we could get an inch or two of rain. It's kind of volatile fluid right now, but we'll see how it all goes. All right, my friends, always good to be with you on day 7 of feeling like crapola, but feeling a little bit better. I got to tell you, I know I'm feeling better because I didn't lose my coffee cup this morning. Pretty simple task, right? To keep track of your coffee cup, but what can I tell you? Have a great one. Stay tuned. Daniel Hottaway coming up next. I hope to see you guys really, really soon. Newport Beach, California. I'm over here and I'm gonna go try to find my friend Daniel Hottaway because he is up here on the Island Spirit over there at South Coast Shipyard. And in fact, doesn't that kind of look like the Island Spirit right there? We're getting close. We got a great show for you. Stay tuned, my friends. Daniel, good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Phil.
Thanks for inviting me down here, Newport Beach, California.
Thank you for visiting us.
What a gorgeous day.
Great to see you. Yeah, it's beautiful weather down here. This is a very neat little boat yard, and we have some mandatory work that we have to do, and it's just time to bang it out and get back home as soon as we can.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of work too, man. I see a ton of guys down below working on the boat, and you're working up here like crazy.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people think, wintertime comes along, and gosh, the captains and the crew, they get a break, man. All they do is sit in front of the TV with the clicker, and it's far from that, right?
I wish. It's probably the hardest work we have all year.
Really?
Yeah, especially when we're in the yard and we have, limited time. It's very expensive to be out of the water, so we try to get as much done as we can. We probably have, I think I counted 6 or 7 guys working on the boat right now.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
So, got a few projects to finish and hope it all goes well.
And part of it, too, is that I'm sure you like spiffing the boat up and making it look good for the coming season, but you love fishing. So not only is it hard work, but you're away from what you really love.
Yeah, absolutely. Nobody loves sanding and painting and fixing things, but we all love fishing. So it's something you got to do to be able to take people fishing on a nice, good-looking boat.
Yeah, 100%. What's the name of this boatyard? It's South
Coast Shipyard.
South Coast Shipyard. It's kind of a small, kind of nice little shipyard, actually. It feels, I don't know, guys were really nice when I walked up, and everybody was down there hoping I'd fall off that ladder so they get a good TikTok video.
No, everybody's really friendly here. It's a good group of guys that are working here, and I'm happy with it.
The other thing is, you're commuting every single day, man. That's a pretty good drive. What do you spend, about 3 hours in the car every day?
If I leave around like 5:30 in the morning, it only takes me about an hour to drive here from the valley, but going home's not so nice. Yeah. I try to just come early and leave early so I miss as much of that traffic as possible.
Yeah, so, gotcha.
Start at 7 or before and try to leave at like 3:30 or so.
All right, so the purpose of this podcast is to see you, my friend. That's number one, and we've accomplished that.
Yep.
You commiserated with me and told me that you were sorry about Notre Dame. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Don't make me break into tears on this podcast. And then the real reason is we want to look ahead a little bit. You get all your maintenance done. What are we going to do? When are we going to start? How's the coming season look? So let me start out with what more or less is your return date for getting back in action?
Yeah, we should be out of here sometime next week, I'd imagine. Hopefully early in the week, middle of the week maybe. But we'll be back in Ventura before too long, and once we get back to our harbor, we're going to start putting up open party trips online. And we are going to run that special again we did last year, where anything you book before the beginning of April, you can book all trips for 20% off.
Oh, shoot.
So we're going to do a early
such a
booking
good
special.
deal.
So if you have a day you want to go fishing in June, July, August, October, whatever, you can buy your tickets when our schedule comes up.
20%
off if you book before April 1st. So.
You got to do that, man, right?
Schedule's not up yet, but we'll obviously make a post and notify all you guys when we have trips up online, and Yeah, we're excited.
Sounds like you'll be back fishing in February. Rockfish season is closed until April, but there's halibut, there's bass, there's whitefish.
Absolutely.
And then sheephead, I think, in March.
Yeah,
right?
in March you can start keeping sheephead as well. So yeah, February we can go catch whitefish, halibut, sand bass, hopefully sand dabs even. March you're able to catch sheephead too, so we're gonna spend more time doing like that whitefish sheephead combo stuff and some halibut drifts as well. And then obviously when April comes around, we're gonna be able to fish for whatever we want again.
I've been talking to a lot of private boaters up there in your area, and they've had some really good wintertime success on the halibut. That looks like it's going to be a thing this coming year.
I think so, yeah. I can't wait to, get all done with this and get back in the water and, try to do a couple of those trips. Go catch some halibut, whitefish, all that good stuff. We had fun with that early in the year last year, so.
Yeah, man, I remember that one trip where a kid, I heard a commotion down on deck. I don't know if I was in the wheelhouse or what, but by the time I got there, I was there just on time when you were poking, what was that, a 25-pound fish? Something
About,
like that?
yeah.
A big halibut, biggest fish this kid, and I got that smile on video. For me now, not catching a fish, that's not what I'm after. I'm after that kid showing that to his kids someday.
Yeah.
And that was a spectacular catch, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome. That kid and his dad lucked out. They came back again a month later, and his dad caught a yellowtail.
No way.
Like a big one that we fought back from a sea lion. So that father-son combo did pretty well this year with us.
That is awesome. What is the limit on whitefish? 10, right?
Yeah, you can keep 10 whitefish. There's no size limit on them, but early in the year last year, we had like really, really amazing quality on that local whitefish.
Yeah.
It almost looked like they're swimming around at Santa Rosa,
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah, no size limit or anything, but you can keep 10 whitefish, and then when March comes around, you can keep 2 sheephead.
So that's right around the corner. We're going to be doing that really, really soon.
Absolutely.
I make a big deal out of the fact that we have had so much squid in the environment this past year and now into 2025. Am I justified in making a big deal about that? Is that what is going to bring predators in?
It's it's a really good sign for sea bass fishing, stuff like that. It looks like we're kind of in a cold water cycle. Like last year it was cold, the water was cold like kind of late into the season. This year seems like it's the same thing. Water's really cold right now. There's a lot of squid around. We still see the seiners coming into the harbor all the time in Ventura, all, loaded up. That definitely bodes well for sea bass fishing this year.
Yeah, I think so. I think halibut, sea bass, and rockfish flourish more and proliferate more in the colder water also.
Yeah, absolutely. We I think almost every single trip in December we had people catching live squids on their bare hooks, or just snagging live squids when we're rock fishing out there in 400 or 500 feet. So there's tons of squid around, and it's been there for a while, and hopefully it stays.
People always want to have warm water. They're always like, I hope there's an El Nino. I hope there's warm water. But if you look up in the Bering Sea in Alaska, where the water is frigid, that's where all the life is, in that colder water sometimes.
Yeah. There's obviously pros and cons to both cold and warm water, but there's a sweet spot as well. And when the water gets too warm, there's no squid around. They don't really like the warm water. The sea bass don't really bite much, and same thing with that halibut. So there is definitely advantages to having cold water.
Yeah, 100%. Something we take for granted, Daniel, is nature, seeing a whale, seeing all of these beautiful experiences that you and I, and probably me more than you, only because I'm older than you. Yeah. Sometimes, oh, cool, there's a whale, instead of, whoa, check that out, which is really the appropriate response. And for people who are on land most of the time, they would really love to see that. I understand you might give that a try, a couple whale watch trips.
Yeah, absolutely. We're thinking about it. Once we get back in the water, we'll put up fishing trips and see how those fill up. And if it's not working out, maybe we'll do some whale watching instead.
Excellent. Yeah. All right, let's jump ahead to April. The Rockfish opener. We'll be able to fish rockfish again.
Absolutely.
What a great year it was. We went out into the deep water with you a couple of times. Not only, speaking of nature, we were treated to a great show.
We had
orcas.
orcas on our last trip.
Was that cool or what?
That was really cool.
That was bitchin', man.
It was a really big one, too. There was one giant one in there.
I don't know if I ever told you. Did I tell you that? Yeah, I kind of did. That biologist got a hold of.
Yeah.
And she was like, she told me the names of each and every one of those killer whales. Yeah, of those orcas. She knew the names, the history, how big they were, everything. It was really great. Elisa Schulman-Janiger is the scientist's name.
Very nice.
I've worked with her in the past a lot. She was just excited to see that. So we got out there, man, the quality of the rockfish, fantastic. It was great. And then on your local trips, a little bit closer to home, great fishing, great quality. April 1st, that starts again.
Absolutely. And there's no like weird depth regulations at the beginning of the year. You can fish as shallow as you want, as deep as you want. You can catch rockfish and whitefish and, whatever else in any order. You don't have to, catch whitefish first. And that kind of weird rule doesn't start till the end of the season, or September rather, or October. But yeah, the regulations are a lot more simple and easy to abide by earlier in the season. We can pretty much do whatever we want, which is neat.
Yeah. When do you know the dates when that all changes, or should we leave that for another time?
I want to say it's in July. It changes from you can't fish over 300 feet. Everything has to be under 300.
Yeah.
And then once October rolls around, I want to say October 1st, you have to fish deeper than 300 feet. You can't fish shallower than 300 feet for rockfish. And as soon as you have a rockfish on the boat, you can no longer do any kind of fishing under 300 feet.
Yeah.
So it's weird, but it's how it's going to be again this year.
Yeah, that's fine. And one more memory for us at Freeman Adventures on the Island Spirit was that lingcod.
Oh yeah.
That magnificent ling, biggest one you've ever seen.
Absolutely.
That was a huge fish. What was that again? How big?
39.
39, almost 40 pounds.
Yeah, it was a monster.
When I saw you dragging that thing down the deck, man, again, I was right there with the camera, thank God. God looks after me on these things, man.
You stay ready, though. You stay ready. You're always ready to go.
Well,
nice.
That's one of the reasons a lot of people say, man, why don't you fish? And the reason is, while I'm winding in a 2-pound
how
Johnny
else are we
bass.
gonna get all this great footage?
But what a memory that was. That guy up in the bow, he was a cool guy.
Yeah, Terry. Good guy.
And that giant ling. So those kind of catches, man, while they're not every single trip, it certainly is within the realm of possibility to make a catch on a big fish like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We always try our best to send everybody home with some fish and then give everybody a chance at a really neat fish of a lifetime kind of deal as well. So especially early in the season, we like to fill you guys up on whatever rockfish, whitefish, and then go into the shallows at the end of the day and give everyone a chance at a game fish too. So looking forward to getting back to those kind of combo trips where we have the ability to catch a little bit of game fish after we are done rock fishing, instead of just having to go home because it's not legal to do anything else,
Yeah.
So really excited for the season to start again.
Yeah, me too. And once again, everybody, 20% off until what date? When does that shut down?
The end of March. So the last day that promo is going to be up is the final day of March. So anytime between when the schedule goes up to the end of March, it's going to be 20% off any trips you'd like to book early in the season.
You're crazy if you don't do it. And we here at Freeman Adventures are looking forward to doing more sponsored trips.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll
we did some of those. They were really popular.
Yeah. Absolutely.
A lot of fun. I get to get out and meet a bunch of guys that are watching our stuff all the time, and that's a lot of fun also. Looking ahead of the rockfish season, I'm asking to guess, or I'm asking, based on what you know, what you've seen, what kind of season do you think we're looking at? Do you think, you mentioned the cold water, so possibility of good halibut and sea bass? You think that's
I think it's possible we'll get some, better. I mean, last year was as good as it gets for halibut, all together, but hopefully we get more of that kind of fishing, get a shot at some sea bass earlier in the year, and then, rock fishing is always great when the water's cold. Plenty of whitefish around. Hopefully that water starts to change in the summer and we get to do that barracuda and bass stuff that we enjoy fishing for. And just I hope this season is as good as last season was. So.
Dude, I mean, that's not hyperbole either. I remember Doug Tilk went on the Endeavor,
Yeah.
and they had just under 100 halibut, big fish.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's crazy. It's very, very rare that you'll ever see trips like that, and I think it happened like 10, 11 years ago, and it seems like the last couple of years that halibut resurgence it's a real thing. So hopefully that it keeps up.
Yeah, I used to say, why do they have the limit at 5? Nobody ever catches 5 fish anymore. And now, it's a good thing they have the limit at 5 because you could actually go over that.
Yeah, there's a couple trips on the Endeavor that I gotta run this year where a couple people got a limit of halibut too. It's crazy. Anytime it's a big accomplishment if you can catch 5 legal, or in this case like really big California halibut in one day. It's a trip of a lifetime.
And shout out to Eddie Berrigan. I know you know Eddie, and
Absolutely.
Bella, who is our hat t-shirt model and does such a great job. But they were on that trip with Doug.
Yep.
And I know they had a ton of flatfish
It was
also.
Eddie's charter, I believe.
Yes, correct.
They killed it.
Really great stuff. And then, do you do anything with, the barracuda bite? That's going to be a springtime thing maybe, and yellowtail. That's a little bit further ahead,
it's a
but
little
that's
further
also
down the
possible,
road.
right?
Absolutely.
If a guy's thinking, I'd like to save my 20%, I love catching barracuda, well, what month would you suggest would be a good month?
Probably July, towards the middle end of July, it seems like was the best time this past season. But we're going to be trying for it all the time. We're not just going to go rock fishing and go home. We're going to, give you guys a chance at several different types of fishing. We're going to, if the weather's nice, maybe we'll go deep. If it's not, there's plenty of places we can hide and fish in the shallow water for like a mix of rockfish, whitefish, sheephead, lingcod, stuff like that. And, try for halibut, bass, barracuda. We just plan on trying to keep a good variety in our counts.
Excellent. Yeah. I'm guessing for the 20% discount, you call the landing?
Absolutely, yeah. There's going to be a code that comes out. We'll make a post with all that information once we get our schedule up, but there will be a discount code that you could use online, or you can obviously call the landing, and Sal or somebody else is going to be able to help you out.
805-676-3474. Perfect. What a team we make, man. I'm telling you. Anything else before... Would you like to give us a little tour of what kind of work you're doing on the boat for a second here, or not? It's up to you.
I mean, it's not. We'll put a little bit of footage up, but it's nothing crazy.
So what are you doing? We don't have to go out and see, or do you want to go out?
We're just sanding the bulwarks.
Today.
There's some spots that needed to be filled, so I filled them all, and once we're done, I'm gonna sand the filler and clean it up, slap some primer on, and sometime soon we're gonna paint the bulwarks inside. Then most of the other work is being done by the yard. They're painting the bottom of the boat, just cleaning up the bottom. Our props are getting cleaned up, serviced, and not a whole lot else. We had a successful Coast Guard inspection yesterday. It went very well.
Oh, great.
Just a couple little minor fixes that the yard's working on, and the boat's gonna be good as ever.
I know. Well, not only are you doing a lot of work, but you just mentioned there's like 6, 7 guys down below when I walked up, really nice guys doing a lot of work also.
Mm-hmm. I think they're on their lunch break right now, but they're going to come back and hopefully keep working through the end of the day.
Well, they knew we were going to shoot a podcast, man. They're giving us a little break here.
Yeah. But they've been doing great, and they have a little paint project too. We're painting part of the outside of the boat as well, so I know they're prepping that and working on that today too.
And what the plan is, you're going to be here, a week and a half?
Hopefully, yeah. Just about another week would be nice, maybe less.
So how about I come back when you're all done and we take a look at the finished product?
Sounds good.
Yeah, perfect. So VenturaSportFishing.com, 805-676-3474
to
get a hold of the landing, 20% off. Can people call right away before they have the code and start figuring that out, or should they hold off a little bit?
I'd hold off till you look online and see a trip you like. We don't currently have the schedule up, just because we need to make sure we get back in the water, finish painting some stuff. There's going to be maybe 2 weeks or so till that schedule comes back up. But as soon as you see the schedule online, feel free to book online or call. And it is the off season right now. The landing kind of has weird hours. But you can leave a message with your information and what kind of trip you'd like to book, and as soon as somebody's there, they'll always call you back and arrange whatever you need.
All right. Hey, I had no idea I was going to be able to spend some time with you in the off season, but it's always a pleasure, Daniel.
Always, Phil. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think we need to go get some lunch now.
Let's do it. I'm ready.